record this on. All right, there you go. Okay. How you
Now it's
been?
real.
How you been?
Oh, busy.
Good.
I've just been super slammed this month. It's usually my slow month, but it's been pretty busy. I've got my soccer players just send me a bunch of athletes, which is leading into a whole nother program of working with setting up an athletic program for athletes only. I'm calling it the FTP, which stands for Fast Track Performance.
Okay.
Um, Putting that together, I was like, oh, we need something cool, a cooler name than Fast Track Performance. But I was like, everybody's using accelerated performance and dynamic and get your strength on performance. I'm just like,
Say
FTP,
what it
keep
is.
it simple. That's right. No one's saying it's fast track because no one's doing what I'm doing.
There you
So
go. That's awesome.
they're out there. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm the only one here. It's all me.
There you go. Hey, that's all right. Well, it sounds great though. That you're getting to
Yeah.
see and yeah, I've had a busy past couple months too, so which is good, you know. But I look at the day and I'm like, wow, it's the 16th of July.
Exactly. I was just talking to a client earlier today, right after her assessment. She's like, "What's the date?" Like, it's the 16th of August already. She's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "It feels like August.
I
It's
know.
gonna be here before you know it."
You know, or every day the kids I see, they're always like, school's in 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh yeah. I don't have
And
to do that
that's
now, but I was like, oh yeah.
yeah. So now I'm hearing that they're trying to have school 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday,
I saw that somewhere. Yeah.
to give the Lebanon school teachers an incentive to have an extra day off. And I'm thinking, why give them an extra day? Just pay them more.
Well,
Like
yeah.
that's all they want is just more money to deal with my kids, or people's kids and feel
Well,
like
then you
they're
have to,
appreciated.
yeah, people will have to find childcare for one day, for
Oh, yeah.
days. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So luckily mine's old enough to watch mine, but still,
yeah.
it's like, why? Why are we cutting it back? Oh well.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
So,
one thing we have to deal with.
yeah, exactly. My youngest is a senior in college now, so I don't have to worry about
Oh,
that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got that. One more
My,
year.
yeah, I have one going into high school, one going into middle school. So I'm like, okay, four more to go, three more to go.
Yeah. It'll be here fast, so don't wish it.
Oh,
It
totally.
happens fast. So, yeah. So, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, I think we are talking about like pain management and like function and stuff like that. Like everybody's talking about this foam roller stuff and mobility, and I'm just like really grinding my teeth with this because yes, foam rolling can help loosen up the tissue, but this specific person posted something on Instagram or Facebook talking about my everyday mobility routine is to get my foam roller and roll and then do this with my hips and then hold my hand on an anchor and rotate this way. And I'm thinking, if you got to hold on to something to rotate your body to make it resist, chances are your brain's saying, we are stuck. We
Yeah.
do not want to go there. So I had to post something about like, foam rolling is fine, but you could also be causing more damage than good. If you truly want to increase shoulder mobility, you need to look at your dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, which foot is more dominant in one of those actions.
Mhm.
So once you can figure that out, then you'll know, okay, I need to work on this. And nine out of 10 times the shoulder just opens up.
Yeah.
Out of the past 27 clients I've saw this month, just by improving dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, their shoulder pain goes away. The neck muscle the neck tightness goes away.
Mhm.
So that's why I was like, yeah, we need to treat this before we should start rolling on the foam roller. And if you have to do it every day, you're in prison. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're
If you
not
guys need,
solving the problem. You're just for that day, you're solving your little pain for that day, but that's it. It's not
just
solving.
putting a fancy band-aid on it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if your house catches on fire and you have to foam roll before get out of bed and get outside, you're roasted,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like
It's not
that's a prison.
Yeah.
So
I think people forget, or I don't know if people forget or people don't understand that your whole body is connected. It's connected with everything, with your muscles, your fascia. I mean, everything. And they don't they forget that, I think, that, if one thing is off, like you said, your feet are off, then your hips are off, then your neck, shoulders are off. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
all of it's together and people kind of forget that, I think, or they don't, maybe just don't know it.
I don't, I think it's just the way it's been taught, like rehab. When you go to rehab, you're learning, right? But if we're taught this way in PT school or whatever school we went to for our career, then they're going to continue to teach thousands of people this way. And I talked to a PT, a buddy of mine, and he was diagnosed with a torn rotator cuff. So he's losing some range of motion in his shoulder.
Mhm.
And I went up to him because I saw him. I was like, "Hey man, it's like I think I can help your shoulder like get like 100% better." And he's like, "All right, Joe, what kind of crazy stuff now?" So we started looking at his plantar flexion and dorsiflexion from left and right. And when we made those changes, I said, "Okay, now take your shoulder through full range of motion." Curse word, what the Joe? Uh,
Mhm.
what just happened? I said, your shoulder was compensating because you were lacking plantar flexion on your left foot, left ankle. And he's like, I'm going to go back to my school, PT school, and tell them that they suck. They are fired for
Well,
not
like you said, they
teaching me
only know what they
this.
know.
Right.
So,
But I was like, that's pretty funny. I was like, when you go do that, make sure you hand them my business card.
exactly. Like I can answer questions and yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy to help this situation here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so applying that with the resets that I've been working with the square one stuff, it's been night or day, huge difference.
Mhm.
Um, and we look at the squats, they'll put a plate or some kind of wedge under the heels to raise the heels up. But with that, all we're changing is the angle of how much flexion we have versus flat, no wedge versus with the wedge.
Mhm.
So I bought these fancy little soul soul steps from Wick Method. Pretty amazing. Probably one of the best investments I've ever made as far as helping correct the feet. And they're just naturally angled to train the feet to be angled outwards versus inwards, invert versus to train them in eversion.
Mhm.
And putting the one, turning it around and flipping it over to where it trains the dorsiflexion side into plantar flexion, so it's angled down a little bit more, maybe like a half an inch. And then the other side, it forces the plantar flexion to be stronger in dorsiflexion by like 2 inches.
Okay.
And people are squatting way better with load. Now we got to work on the extension part, but with that being said, their hips are opening up. They're like, oh my gosh, my shoulder feels better. Oh my gosh, my neck feels better. And now I can't get my glutes to stop firing because I can feel them all the time. That's really annoying.
Mhm.
So I'm like, yep, I'm right there with you. I woke up one morning after doing my squats on those things, and I'm like, my posture is way different. What is going on? And then I go to bend over, and my sacrum goes, nope, we can't bend over like that no more. I'm like, oh, look, we just discovered a whole nother compensation pattern just by fixing my feet.
Yeah.
Um, so so that's what I've been playing with is like, okay, working with those feet has been a huge game changer and fast results.
Mhm.
Um, versus stretching, any kind of manual therapy. I don't even remember the last time I touched my massage cups for
Oh, really?
for
Yeah.
tight tissue. Yeah. The right now they're just collecting dust and looking pretty in my little basket there. So
It's all right. So, do you feel like shoes are the big issue these days for people's. I always tell parents, like I worked with kiddos, and I'm always like, do not let them walk barefoot all the time, inside especially. But do you think we've kind of gotten to that because the way we wear our shoes, or just in general?
Um, Again, most of our nerves, we have more nerve endings in our hands and feet.
Hmm.
So yes, if we're wearing like these really comfortable shoes, that these big industries have made, especially the hookahs, I think those are like the worst comfortable shoe ever, but I think they're really good for certain people in the older generation who our
Need
feet are so desensitized that they just need that.
need that, yeah.
But with my son, he's 3. I noticed since he's been wearing his Crocs, his feet have inverted in.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for those things to like completely blow out so we can tell we can't wear them no more.
Yeah.
So we can start correcting his feet again. But I've noticed that with his feet, he's starting to get flat feet or inverting of the feet because he's losing that tactile sensory back in his feet.
Hmm.
Um, and when I notice when he's in the Crocs, I can see him that pattern happening. So yeah, I think it's between the shoes and then just how we respond to um, our atmosphere.
Yeah.
Um, I can walk on I have a rock mat. I can walk on that thing barefoot and do squats on it. I can jump on it and it just feels like a free foot massage. Feels amazing. I have a client who will walk on that and they're like, "Why are you making me do this?" I said, "Because your feet need to be sensitized. They are too desensitized." And I said, the more you walk on it, the better they're going to get, the more alive your feet are going to feel, and the less pain you're going to have.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think a lot of it's just the shoes uh
Just how they position your
and
feet.
cement and like how we run and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I say like I run better on grass versus cement.
Hmm.
And like in the last conversation, I am not a runner, I'm a sprinter. And even walking on cement is just like
Yeah.
really it's tough. But working with the feet and getting proper internal rotation of the feet and the dorsal and plantar flexion, walking on cement has been a lot easier to do now.
Yeah.
Because you can feel every muscle in the up and down the body in your walking pattern now. So even my clients, if you came back and said, "Hey, like walking's better, like they don't hurt on the pavement,"
Hmm.
and they've actually because we corrected strengthened up how they use their feet and their gait pattern. Now they don't have a problem walking in general.
Yeah. That's good.
And the feet are the
Yeah.
hardest things to train.
They are. Yeah. I know. I mean, I used to be like that. I couldn't walk on the street because I would get shin splints like bad. You know what I mean? Just from,
Mhm.
but now it's not a big deal. So, but I
Yeah,
wear barefoot shoes. So I quit wearing
yeah,
my Hokas a couple years ago.
yeah. That's what you had said the last time we talked.
Yeah.
Um,
I quit wearing those.
Even with me wearing bare feet shoes as long as I have, I still, I mean, it changed how I walk, but it did not change the inversion of the
Yes.
ankle.
And you can tell that. I can tell that in my feet too. Like I can tell. I think when you wear bare feet shoes, you can tell when you're not walking correctly. At least I can, you know what I mean? Even though
Yeah.
they feel better to walk with them, I still can tell that that's not always.
Yeah. So the shoes is one component, but at the same time, you got to retrain the pattern of how the foot meets the ground, how the foot leaves the ground.
Yeah.
Because again, that impacts every joint above the big toe,
Yeah.
all the way up to the neck. So, so again, when we're looking at that pain cycle, it's like changing where people are literally in their gait pattern. If you change that gait pattern, man, everything just melts. Chronic type muscles, nerve firing pain. I'm not saying we're going to never get out of pain. I mean, we are human, but sometimes that postural, that shifting in posture can be real gritty and that can cause some pain and discomfort. but that's just a process of going backwards in time
Yeah.
um, with that. So retraining the internal rotation of our gait, like once I started doing that, my feet, my arches are starting to come back.
Hmm.
My load is more on the outside of my feet. And when I walk, my foot doesn't externally rotate to the point of causing knee pain. If you look at these people who are running and you see their feet flare out like a at a parachute,
Yeah.
like which just really externally rotates. And I'm just like, I'm gonna hand that person my card because that is painful to watch.
Yeah.
Um, but there's where you can start retrain that gait pattern. And so I've taken it back down to training, like not even stepping from one foot to the next. It's more or less learning how to shift your weight between your feet in an internal rotation pattern. And then
Hmm.
you add your upper rotation with that. Because if you look at the spiral chain in Thomas Myers, how that literally goes from your head to toes, that's the train we really want to work with. And once you can improve the rotation and the dorsiflexion on the non-dominant side, let's just say the right foot, it's always stuck in plantar flexion for most people. Once you can train that pattern, the hip automatically realigns
Okay.
from a down slip back into a neutral pelvic position. So that's where I can my chiropractor client, she was just amazed of how fast I was able to move her hips just through the nervous system. And she was like, wow, I've never experienced anything like that as big as the bone of the hip is.
Hmm.
So she was like, okay, so it's coming from the foot. So when we're looking at the foot and how they check the hips, she says that when they look at the hips, that there are the ankles to see where the hip alignment's at. Then I asked her the question and said, are you looking at hip alignment? Are you looking at what foot is locked in dorsiflexion versus plantar flexion? I said, because if the right side is stuck in plantar flexion, it's not going to have very good dorsiflexion. So therefore, the one that's strong in dorsiflexion, it's still going to be off alignment a little bit. So I said, yes, it might level out a little bit, but I said, at the end of the day, you're just adjusting the hip, making it look like it moved that 2.5 inches or whatever. But I said, at the end of the day, the response I'm getting from people is it comes right back, myself included. So she goes, let me train that a little bit. So when we trained that a little bit, she felt her hip actually moving better, just improving the dorsiflexion.
Okay. Do you have to, so when you go through the stuff that you do with clients, do they still have to go do body work of any kind, or what you do is kind of, it just depends on what's going on with them?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people if they want to do a massage, go get a massage, but we just got to be careful that it's not undoing the work we're trying to achieve.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
because I had a client, we did the work, she went and got a massage the next day, and then she saw me the following day. So in 3 days, she was right back to where she was. So she never held anything the changes we made.
Hmm.
And that only rarely happens. So I'd say, okay, if we're going to do a massage, where are the areas you mostly have them focus at? She said, usually my lower back and neck. So what I would do is I would do some massage techniques on the lower back and the neck and then cleared out the nervous system. And then that way that area or that touch is no longer perceived as a threat or a trigger to the nervous system. And
Hmm.
then they
Okay.
hold it a lot better.
Yeah, makes sense. Yup. Yeah. Massage sounds good right now.
They feel good.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I think I listened to the other podcast with the other massage therapist, and I think she's doing amazing work.
Hmm.
I almost reached out to her, but I think coming from a massage therapist that I am, that we're just taught to that, hey, if you get enough massages, things are going to feel better. But at the end of the day, are we using a sticker? Are we actually using glue? Or are we actually like where's the change in that? And at the end of the day, yes, they feel good. They help flush out the system. But if we want to make physical change, it starts with finding the compensation. Hulk muscles
Hmm.
versus Bruce Banner muscles. At the end of the day, that's where it's coming at. That's where the pain is at.
Yeah.
I myself, I used to get massages all the time for pain, and it just got worse over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt good in the moment, but I always felt like I got hit by a Mack truck. And I, my foam roller, back to the foam rollers. I had a foam roller, I haven't touched it in 4 years. I thought, hey, let's get on this thing and just see what it feels like. And I had nothing was tender, nothing was sore, rolling on it. I was like, all right, that's just confirmed everything that I'm doing is making a huge difference in muscle toning and the fat and the tissue. So okay, they're great to get you through the day, but
Yeah.
choose your heart. Do you want to do the same thing every day, or do you want to move the needle forward every day? And I want to move the needle forward. That's what I'm looking for because it's a whole nother world
Yeah.
when you don't have to worry about equipment and stuff like that. But yeah, no, enjoy your massages. Yeah, they feel great. They're great to
It's okay.
de-stress. They're great for increase in circulation. They're great for, for what they're
Yeah.
designed for. But
Yeah.
I just think we just get away with like, hey, if you have this pain, we can just massage it out. And I don't know how many conversations I've had with people, massage therapists. They're like, yeah, we know what we're going to do is not going to help them get
Yeah.
out of pain, but we are banking on them to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's true. Hmm.
like I
Yeah.
don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make money off of someone else's pain. I want to make money on their progress. Like, that's just where it comes right there is that moving forward. And
Well, and I think more people are starting to want to understand the root cause of things. They're
yeah,
not wanting to just band-aid problems anymore. They want to find out, okay, what caused this to start with. So I
yeah,
think our mindset's kind of changing a little bit too, where we're starting to look at
yeah.
that
And
differently.
yeah, and that's where it needs to be is just that mindset. Because like I said in the last podcast, like I see a lot of people working with the nervous system now, but the brain,
Hmm.
it's becoming big.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's going to be a huge shift in the near future with things. Um, I've got people trying to reach out to me like, oh, I see you do stretching. I don't want no one to teach me how to stretch. I want to do it somebody for me. I want someone to do it for me. And I'm like, okay, well, here's what it is. And then they're like, no, I don't like your program, whatever. Like, okay. So, and then I talked to a friend of mine who went to the one of those stretching companies here in Indiana. And I was like, do they really strap you to a table and stretch you? And he's like, oh yeah. He says it was painful. And I was like, yeah, I've had a few clients come back after getting stretched and they felt worse or they couldn't move the next day. And I'm just like, yeah, you never want to strap anybody to a table.
Doesn't even
Like,
sound fun.
yeah, like we just created trauma from that point on. If they, and then I'm thinking like, what if this person doesn't remember they got strapped to a bed or a chair or something? They don't remember until they
Yeah.
have this traumatic memory. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm sorry, if you guys strap somebody down to stretch them, like
Yeah. Be like,
you're just aiming to hurt somebody.
yeah. I honestly didn't know that existed, but hey, thanks for that because yeah, I'm like, oh goodness.
Yeah, I think the company's like it's Stretch Zone. I think is what the
Oh,
company
really?
is. Oh
Oh,
yeah, and I once I saw those popping up, I'm like, I'm gonna put my business cards in there.
yeah. You're gonna need me when you leave here. So there you go. Put an advertisement outside of their
Oh man,
business.
I would. Oh yeah, I knew that was gonna be problems. And then like give it a few months later, I had people coming in like, yeah, I went to the Stretch Zone. I went to this person that stretched me, and now I can't turn my neck. And I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
man. So yeah, I don't do traditional stretching. Um, for any issue. Stretching is probably one of the last things I do for any kind of pain or tight muscle.
Yeah.
Um, People ask me like, "Do you stretch?" I said, "I don't stretch. I move."
Yeah.
Um, why? Why don't you stretch? It feels good. Yeah, it feels good, but so here's the thing about stretching and pain is that let's just use hamstrings for an example. Everybody's got tight hamstrings. If let's say the left hip is higher than the right, so that tells me that you're loading more on the left side than you are the right side. If that hamstring is being pulled on lengthened wise because the hip is sit up higher, so when they go to stretch that left hamstring, they're still loading that hamstring. So here's the tip. All right, here's a good freebie tip. If you want to stretch that tight hamstring, shift your weight to the right side and move that right hip over to have that right hamstring to have the nervous system tell the left hamstring to stop firing.
Hmm.
Then you get a better stretch. But if you are loading that hamstring and it's still tight and it's like, oh man, this feels good, hurts, chances are the brain is saying, don't let go. We're
Yeah.
about to die here.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't shut off. um, yeah, I don't know how many of my athletes who stretch on a daily basis and they still get pulled hamstrings, pulled
Yeah.
quads. And then the rehab says, oh, we need to stretch it more. And I'm like, what?
The
So isn't that what it caused it in the first place?
muscles
So,
already firing and like, oh, and okay.
oh yeah. One of my athletes, he had a grade two hamstring pull. And he was going through the rehab. We did what I did. So in the first 3 weeks with what I was teaching him and working with him on, he was able to perform at 80% after 3 weeks of his injury. And I said, what's the normal recovery for this? He says 2 months. And he's already 80%. And every exercise, corrective exercise that he was getting, he was surpassing them. They were too easy for
Hmm.
him. And I said, what do you think changed? He goes, dude, you're my guy. He's like, you are the one that got me to point A to point B. And he goes, and you were looking at my feet. He says, nobody has looked at my feet for this tight hamstring, for this pulled hammy. I said, okay. So we're doing. So yeah, like I said, it's just gotta
Yeah.
start with the feet.
The feet. We've talked about this. The feet are so
Yeah,
important.
they
I mess
are.
with the feet all the
And
time. Yep.
I took a rock tape class, and I remember this chiropractor. She says, I am a feet person. The first thing I look at is your feet. And I'm thinking, like, why? I always went straight to the hips. And then she goes, there's people who go straight to the hips. I was like, yep, now I'm interested. What are we talking about? And she was like talking about how the feet affect the hips. And I was like, okay. So I was trying to learn more about the feet, but that's the first thing she trains is the feet. And she tells people, so if you show up in her practice with flip-flops, she will cancel your appointments. The flip-flop is the F word in her practice.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's hilarious. So yeah, flip flops aren't that good either for feet. And man, I love my flops, but my feet just killed me at the end of the day. My back killed, shoulder problems. I couldn't turn my head one day after wearing my flip flops.
I can't wear the cheap ones. If I wear them, they have to be like the UFOs or something. They have to be, they don't look the prettiest, but it's like I can't wear them very long. So,
Yeah.
no, I can't
Zeros, they
buy
have
them $1 Old Navy ones.
right. Zeros got some that are pretty neat. They actually
Yes.
form to your feet and they move with the
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I like about those. But I don't wear them. I'm either barefoot or I am in my zeros with my
Yep.
toe socks.
Yep.
My wife's like, "Why you wear those disgusting things? Do your clients see your feet?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Do they want to vomit too?" I was like, no, extra strikes up pretty good conversations.
Yeah, we're just like, it's all about the feet, you
It
know?
is. It's all about the feet.
Well, and we were talking, so, I do rhythmic movement therapy and
Yeah.
that's the first thing I work with are the feet. But the feet opens up the pathway to speaking. And a lot of people don't know that, but there's
Yeah.
places on the feet you can manipulate. And I mean, I'm not a speech language person, but I work with speech language people all the time. And I'm like, I'll open up the speech pattern and then you guys do what you need to do. And it makes a huge difference. And it's with the feet, and people are always like, they get to the first appointment. I go, okay, we're gonna mess with the feet, and they're like, what? They can't speak, and I'm like, I know, we're gonna
Yeah.
mess with the feet.
Yeah, when we talked before a couple days ago, you were telling me about that, and I just found that so fascinating. And I was telling a client about this and what you were doing. He goes, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Don't act so surprised. Like you should be used to what I'm doing, so this should be like, oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
He's like, "What's the feat you have to do with the voice?" And I said, "Well, I said if you look at how it connects to the deep core up into the diaphragm and the neck area. I said it makes a lot of sense from a fascial standpoint. I said plus the tongue is involved with that too. So um
Most
I
people
don't
don't
know what you
realize.
did.
Yeah, most people don't realize, but if they dissect it, when they go in and they take out the tongue and everything, how it's connected all the way to the sacrum. And people don't
Yeah,
realize that. It's all one
yeah,
big piece. And so if your hips are out of whack or anything like that, it's all connected. I'm like, that's where it starts. It starts in your sacrum and goes all the way up to your tongue, and people don't realize that. And it's like,
yeah,
it starts at the bottom. It starts at your feet.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So with me fixing my own feet, or correcting my own feet issues, I started playing with the tongue with that as well. And I think
mhm.
that's why I was on those soul trainers, doing my squats, and I'm playing with the tongue and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, I can feel that deep down into the core there. And then the next morning, my sacrum was shifting. I call it a shift. It's just this gritty shift. And I'm like, oh man, what did I do? This is horrible. This is uncomfortable. But I could still squat. I could still lunge. I could still bend over with like no pain. Like the shifting pain is there, but nothing like, oh, I'm gonna spasm out. So just playing with the tongue and stuff like that, I've just been like, oh man, like this makes sense with, when you look at the Thomas Meyer stuff. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think we talked about this the last podcast, is that we can use the tongue as a trigger for the nervous system to to see where it's compensating as well. Um, Another fun tip is that your tongue on your left cheek represents right step, and then
Yes.
vice versa. Tongue up
Hmm.
is extensions, tongue down is flexion. So I'll be doing a workout and I look like Michael Jordan with my tongue hanging out, like squats, licking the air, and moving and doing stuff like that. So, but yeah, you can actually get better feet contractions. Um, by just using the tongue and the pelvis and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that's probably what set my posture into the right direction. And I finally got over that hump of
Yeah.
stuck. And I finally
Yeah.
got it. And I'm like, oh. But the funny thing is my tongue was so tired, and
No,
it was a workout. I felt like I was doing squats with my tongue.
you
I
were
just remember.
probably. You probably were lifting up, you know what I mean? You were probably lifting it up and yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
going up when I stood up, going
Mhm.
down when I went down, and I just remember trying to eat dinner that night. I'm just like, man, my tongue is like, do we have to move? Like it was sore. I
Yeah.
was really surprised. Um, and then I saw a video of somebody talking about like if you you can change the way your face looks by strengthening up your feet.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
like, huh. And they started showing some pictures. I was like, I could see that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was
Yep.
watching a movie and there's this guy with his jaw like sunken in so far into his face. I'm like, oh, you got bad feet. And then the next scene was showing him running, and all I could see is his feet was just flaring out so bad. I'm like, yep, The feet match the jaw.
Yep, they sure do. When I put people through the exercises, because I do the myofunctional therapy and it's the tongue stuff, the exercises. I tell people all the time, I'm like, your tongue's gonna be sore. You worked a muscle, and I'm like, it's gonna be
Oh God.
sore, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be. So it's like
So now when I watch a show or if I people watch, I just
uh,
see,
uh-huh.
I'm
You
like, I'm
can't.
always looking at people and I'm like, oh man, your tongue is so weak.
Now I have seen it's so fascinating. I was in a course, and the lady was talking about watching athletes, like you were talking about athletes, and she said, watching the ones that stick out their tongue when they do things. She said they jump higher, they do these certain things better, and he said when you watch them, 9 times out of 10, their tongue's out. And she said it really, you know what I mean? They're like extending their tongue out, which is allowing their body to do. And I was fascinated with it. So then I watch sports anyway, and I'm watching sports and I'm watching all these athletes, and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of athletes that stick their tongue out when they
Yeah,
do stuff.
they
I'm
do.
like, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. I mean,
If
you
you look
call
up
it like Michael
Tom,
Jordan, but yeah.
yeah. So the guy, the WEC method, guy, he was talking about how he's looking at like, these fast people, how they run and how they use their hands to take out the slack in the system or out of the fascia.
Hmm.
So I was like, man, that's probably what we use our tongue for is to take some of the slack out of the system and improve to create more tension and stability in our body. Breath work comes into play with that as well.
Absolutely.
Um,
If you watch some of the best marathon runners, they run with their mouths closed.
yes,
They run with their
yeah,
mouths closed. And I tell people, like, if you push your tongue on the roof of your mouth, it opens up your nasal passages or sinuses. It
yep,
stabilizes your head.
yep,
And I said, when you see those athletes, especially those marathon runners, they always have their mouth closed.
yeah. Yeah, some of my clients are like they're struggling with an exercise. I'm like, just take your tongue and put it on the roof of your mouth, and they do it again. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yep.
it's all connected.
It's like,
It's all
yep,
connected. Your nervous
yep,
system, your fascia, it's all
yep.
working."
It's all
But
working.
yeah. So if you look at like Tom Brady, how he used to play, he's always had his feet rotated out when he'd throw the ball and stuff. And then he fast forward to another season, you can actually see where he's actually trained his feet to get better and stronger with internal rotation when he throws the ball and stuff. So, um, and then there's other players too, like LeBron. Is it LeBron James? His feet go out. And then I just remember one of my classes, the guy was talking about like, why are we picking on the feet? Why are we trying to change something when they're already good at it? And I'm just thinking to myself, I see his point. Why are we making these major
Yeah.
changes? But at the same time, do we want him to lose his career due to another ACL knee surgery?
Yeah.
Because it all starts with that. So, um, yeah, the
Yeah.
amazing feat.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why we wanted to do this, right? To talk about pain and feet and how it's all
Feet,
connected.
feet and pain and feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So even with some of my clients that come in for assessments. So with my 1 hour assessment, the goal is to always come in or leave my office feeling better than you came in with, even though it's just an assessment. And sometimes the demonstration is, oh, I'm in zero pain now.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, great. Let's just keep moving the needle forward. Let's see how well you can feel in the future. And one client, she's like, I don't know if I want to come back. I said, why is that? And she said, because I feel really good right now. I said, good. That's the whole point. But I said, do you want to feel good just for 24 hours or do you want to feel good for the rest of your life? And she goes, well, what do you mean? She goes, this won't last. I said, it could last. But I said, we still compensate every day. We've compensated for many years.
Hmm.
And I said, at 80 years old, do you want to have somebody take care of you or do you want to take care of yourself? And she's like, well, I don't want no one to pay someone to take care of me. I said, then it's the work starts now. I said, and it starts with your feet. And she's
Hmm.
like, okay. all right, I'll be back. It's like,
Yeah.
yes. So, so yeah. So in DVRT, we have this saying like strong feet, tight glutes, or tight, strong feet, tight glutes, strong abs, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it starts again, starts with the feet.
Starts with feet, always. Yeah.
So I don't know if you noticed this, like if you ever notice like somebody who like squats or lunges or walks and that big toe extends up.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that?
I don't know if I've ever paid attention.
Sometimes you see somebody working out and they're barefoot and all of a sudden they're doing something that toe just raises up.
Hmm.
So what I have found out what causes that is because that's the ankle that is lacking, either lacking what's it, dorsiflexion. So in order to correct that, you got to train that foot to be better in plantar flexion because that big toe is compensating for the entire ankle system.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so that's something else I noticed. I'll have clients that they'll do a squat and all of a sudden that toe just comes right up like a flagpole. And he was like, "What is going on with that?" So then we switched the speed around, the feedback around. And he was able to keep his toe down by
Yeah.
training it in better plantar flexion. He's like, "Dude, that feels way better." And he was like, "I was like, yes."
Yeah.
And then when we got done, he turns his head. He goes, "Joe, that's the first time I got full range of motion in my neck." I said, "All right, all from your big toe compensating for
Yeah.
dorsiflexion."
Yeah. For everything.
Yeah. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. If we're having pain, let's start with the feet, dump your foam roller, and just get rolling with it.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Um, Best way is you can reach out to me at my phone number, 317-513-4659. I'm pretty old school. I like to talk to people versus email. If you're an email person, you can reach out to me at jstibolt at six57mobility.com.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah. And yeah, it's exciting to have you back on here again.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling my clients, like, hey, I'm coming back on this podcast. He goes, when were you on it the first time? I was like, didn't I tell you? And he's like, no. I was like, I'll send you the first one and then I'll send you the second one.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, that's really cool. I was like, I love being on podcasts.
Yeah. It was fun. Like I said, you're still the most downloaded one. So
Well,
and
that's cool. I feel
yep.
special.
And then the best feedback and stuff. It's still funny that the lady like reached out to me from California. I still don't know where that came from. But she's like,
Yeah,
I
well,
listened to you and Joe on there talking about movement. I'm like, okay.
hey, at least you're getting in California. You're getting around, eh?
I was like, all right. I don't know who you are, but sure. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too, is like I've got people coming up from Fishers. Um, they're traveling. And I was
Yeah.
like, if you can't come up here, that's fine. I said, we can do this through Zoom.
Hmm.
And she's like, we can do this. How do we do this? How does that work? I said, we'll just walk you through it and coach you that way. And she's like, okay. So yeah, so if you're in the Carmel area, if you're not in the Carmel area, still reach out. We can do assessment through Zoom. We can do treatments through Zoom.
Yeah.
So I figured if MedPed can, or what is that, where they do the online
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
the Med something, uh, Zoom meetings. I was like, I can do this.
Exactly. I do that. I mean, I do a lot of my stuff on virtually now because I have people from everywhere on the state in the state. So much rather have people in person, but they
Oh
just work.
yeah, I'm the same way. Like I'd rather talk to you versus email or I'll even go to my printing company and they're like to talk about something like, Joe, you could have just called us about this. I was like, yeah, but that's no fun. We always have a good time when we're in person. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
yep. So yeah, so pain from the feet, all the way to the head and neck, and then even the eyes. So
Yeah.
we covered it all from head to toe.
Yeah, we did. So, yeah, I'll
I got
do.
a phone.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll say I got a phone call earlier this morning about from WebMD.
Okay.
Is that, and they're like, "Is this Dr. Joe?" And I'm like, "Nope, I'm not a doctor, but I am Joe." And she's like, "Well, you're the owner of 657 Mobility." I said, "Yeah, I'm the owner." She goes, "Oh, well, what we're trying to do is just people who Google their symptoms, we're trying to give them some local places to go to get treatment."
Hmm.
I said, "Well, sign me up." I said, "Just don't put doctor on my name." I said, "I'm
Yeah.
not going to claim that. I don't want to get in trouble for that." So then I asked her, I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Did one of my clients refer you to me?" She goes, I said, "Do you know a David?" And she goes, "No, why?" I said, "Because he always calls me a doctor." And I said, if anybody gets referred to me and they come in, "Are you Dr. Joe?" I know who they came from.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
a
like, I know the
doctor.
guy. I know the
Yeah,
guy.
I'm just the guy. So
I can't say that out loud. I only play one on TV.
yeah, well, that's what then my other client's like, "Well, Dr. Dre can get away with it, but he's a rapper. He
Exactly.
he's not in the medical field. He can call himself Dr. Dre all if he wants."
You're
If you're in
like,
the medical field and you put the doctor and you don't have a PhD, it's a big no-no. I'm like, "No, we're putting that out there. I'm not a doctor."
yeah, exactly. You're like, nope, I do not. That's why I tell people all the time. I'm like, I'm not a speech language pathologist. Okay. It's like, I
Yeah.
did not go to school for that. I said,
I just
and
think outside the box to get some good
yeah,
results.
I can get you results and I can send you to those people if that's what you need. But yeah, I was like, I don't do that. So it's like, that's
Yeah.
not my specialty. But yeah,
Somebody was asking about pelvic floor stuff. I was like, start with your feet. Pelvic
yeah,
floors is another big thing too, is coming from the feet,
yeah. You
train
know
the
what?
feet to help the pelvic.
And I found that out because when I was having issues with that, and I saw a pelvic floor specialist and all that, and it helped a little bit, but not much. But once I switched and started wearing my either going bare, I would go barefoot all the time anyway, but wearing my other shoes and getting stuff situated with that, I noticed that those symptoms have decreased, and it's
Yeah.
like, I was like,
So
okay.
one of my new prospects that came in, new client came in, and one of the things was pelvic floor. And I said, "Well, I can help you with that." And she said, um, "I already see a pelvic floor specialist." I said, "That's fine." I said, uh, I won't do what she's doing. I'll do a different approach." And she was kind of nervous, like, "Don't worry, I won't get the gloves. I promise. There's no gloves involved." And she started laughing. And I said, "Well, because I said one of my clients was telling me about what she was going through." And I'm just like, "Yep, nope.
Nope, not
We're
doing it.
we're
Not
gonna we're
going
gonna let the brain fix the pelvic floor. I'll touch your head before your head and shoulders and your feet before I'll refer out if it goes any further." But she
there.
was so nervous
It's like,
that
wait a minute, what did I sign up for?
yeah, I was like, "No, no, 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 no. I promise there is none of that. It's an open door policy all times."
Yeah. You're like, that's not in my scope. Thank you.
No, no, never will it ever be in my scope. It's
If it deals with your feet or anything else, I'm good. But other than that,
yeah,
yeah,
nope. I'm not a doctor. I don't do
yeah.
that.
My husband laughs at me because he knows I think feet are the most disgusting thing in the world to look at and to touch. I really do. But once
Really?
yeah, I do. I just think they're gross. And it's funny when I started going through this and I was just like, the feet are the key to this. And I started working with feet. My husband goes, "You like feet now?" And I go, "Nope." But I know
Nope.
it makes a difference.
That's
So I
right.
just get past it. But I was like, nope, I still don't like them. But I was like, that's
In
okay.
my early years of massage school,
Ugh.
I I had touched more feet in a lifetime in just 6 months, but there was one set of feet nobody wanted to touch in the class.
How'd you draw the short straw on that one?
Luckily, I never drew the short straw,
Oh, good.
but the one person she always got partnered up, and she just finally told her, "I am not touching your feet."
Yeah.
And I never knew who it was until we had a combined class. And I was like, Yep.
Uh,
I understand what's going on now. Yeah. So yeah, just you run into the sometimes the poor hygienes. But if I'm working with athletes, like right after practice or right
yeah,
after a football game or whatever the sport game is, no
doesn't bother
problem. I'm past that.
you. Yeah.
Like that was my learning curve is like this is it. And people are like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't wash my feet. I'm like, you're fine. No big deal. Like I'm a sports therapist, that I'm not afraid of sweaty feet. And so yeah, but in the beginning I was like, man, what did I get into? Like what just happened?
Yeah.
So,
It's like,
but
okay.
just like everything else you just like, nope, not a big deal anymore. This is good.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I've ever had a fetish, like not a fetish for feet. That's just weird. But
Yeah. Like
I never like
version.
disliked feet. Yeah, I've
Version.
never had like, ugh.
I just
Um,
have. I just always have. I just think they're gross.
yeah,
I just do. But I'm
yeah,
like,
I can see that. Like, yeah, I've had to deal with some toe fungus before.
but you know
Um,
what's funny is I'm a dental hygienist by trade. I have seen some of the nastiest mouths,
yeah,
smelled some of the nastiest stuff that doesn't bother me. My husband goes, "How do you do that? Then that doesn't bother you, but feet you think are so gross." Like,
yeah. My daughter's the same way, and I will always just to get underneath her skin, I'll just put my toe in next to her, and she just freaks out.
I'm right there with
Yep.
her. Right
Yeah.
there. Uh, but
But
yeah,
between home health care and dealing with poor hygiene in this field,
yeah.
I'm just like, okay,
You're just like, yeah. See, and I'm like that with the mouth. I mean, it doesn't even bother me. It's like,
yeah, it
okay.
doesn't bother you no more.
All right.
But I respect and appreciate people who go the extra mile, but don't come in and apologize because you're an athlete. Like, nope. I've
Yeah.
known people who actually just return people away because they've had poor hygiene. I've had to do that once before, and it was just like,
Yeah.
did you soak them in cat litter box?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Now, I have found, and I don't know if it's just because it's kids, but I found that there's been a couple kids, and there are people who have like that really strong smelling feet.
oh
Had a
yeah.
coworker, she had to take her shoes off outside of the office and change her shoes because her feet smelled so bad. And I've
Mm.
noticed with a couple of kids I've worked with their feet that as time's gone on, I don't notice it as much or it's not there as much. I haven't figured out yet if it's just from working with the feet, if it kind of helps that, whatever that is, that, why they have that.
I was told it depends on the diet.
Yeah.
If you have a really poor diet and you're full of like, I won't say toxins in the body, but inflammation or just stuff that your body doesn't agree with, it can actually enhance the smell, like body odor.
Hmm.
And like if you eat too much garlic and it comes out your pores types of situation, only it's not that clean of a smell. Um,
Yeah.
it just depends on the diet can really enhance the
Um,
body odors of that. Yeah.
yeah. And I think gut health has a big deal with
Oh, gut health
it.
is huge.
Huge.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to do better on my gut health. I love my kimchi and I love my sauerkraut. So I think I've got a pretty good gut health from that. But no, just trying to do better overall. I was just talking to a client earlier today, like how like I don't look like a part of a personal trainer. I don't look the way I feel. And he says that's a huge thing anymore. Like just but once they see what I can do, they're like, okay, he's proven a point. But genetics is a huge thing too. I'm learning something about genetics. And my dad was 6'8", pushing 500 pounds, but
Oh, wow.
strong as an ox.
Hmm.
Yeah, strong as an ox. He could lift the railroad ties, the train
Oh,
axles.
yeah.
He just picked those up like they were nothing and just carry them across the farm. And on my mom's side, they're like 6 foot five, like 5'8", five
Hmm.
five, somewhere around there. And they can eat an entire cake and not gain a single
Yeah.
pound the next
Yeah.
day.
Hmm.
But they couldn't also couldn't put muscle mass on. So in my younger years as a wrestler, I was dropping 5 pounds a day just in practice. And I was putting on very good body muscle weight at that time. As I've gotten older, I can still maintain my muscle, but I am burning fat like my dad. Like those genetics are now coming to the surface. And it's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard for me. I've done everything, I've tried everything, but sometimes it's like, oh, look, my wife brought cookies in the house. Let's have one.
Yeah, I know. I've seen people though who to me look like they're overweight, but they're healthier. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
like you said, it's just a healthier their body size. That's just what it is. I was blessed. My mom's side of the family is all like 5'4" and lower. I'm 5'9", and I'm blessed that way because they all have a weight problem. I'm tall.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Thank you.
my yeah, I was with my brother this for the fourth, and like, man, he's big. Like he has a lot of inflammation in his body, and I could see it.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point to where I can't even enjoy an alcoholic beverage without blimping out the next day or within a few hours of drinking. So I'm just like, I must be over this because I don't even want it no more. I just don't like the feeling. It messes up my workouts. So yeah, even my ankles around my feet, like they just swell up so bad. And I'm like, I've worked so hard for this. And why am I ruining it for just for a few drinks?
Yeah,
So
like not worth it. Yeah. I
so
got my
yeah.
health in check and I don't crave sweets as much. I'm glad because I used to eat sweets all the time. I just don't crave them like I did before.
Oh man, I crave sweets
Just don't. I used to,
like
like really bad.
drugs.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, it's but I mean, I guess if it's in all fairness, like there's a lot of drug and alcohol abuse in my family, and
So
I
you
I
have
I
that like addictive
I
personality issue.
have that addictive personality, but I'm like, I mean, I'd rather have the sugar
Uh-huh.
versus the alcohol because my dad passed away of cirrhosis of the liver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll take a fatty liver any day over that, but still unhealthy. I'm
Unhealthy,
not,
but still, yeah, pick your
still,
poison there. I mean, yeah.
yeah, picking my poison here, but yeah, that's the hardest part. So from that, I understand addictions
Yeah.
and why people struggle with addictions, and it just gives me a whole nother level of respect and what they're going through. And people are like, oh, just have one. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's like being addicted to marijuana and you can smell it. Now you're like, ooh, let's be a bloodhound and track that stuff down.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with like if I smell the sugar or it's
It's
I
just
don't know
right
what it
there
is. It's
calling
a chemical imbalance in my brain that's just like and it's just like this inside argument. It's like I'm literally having this argument of that. It's almost like Fight Club in my head, you know? Like
Yeah.
going back and forth. You don't need this. Yes, you do. You don't want it. Yes, I do.
You do.
You don't want to feel fat, do you? Yes, I do.
For
Like,
this moment, I do.
yes. And that's hard. That I will admit that is like the hardest part. And I've tried everything to crave that addiction.
Yeah, it's
Apple
hard.
under the tongue. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's
but
tough.
anyway, it's tough. But hey, I work out. I'm not pushing 500 pounds like my dad.
Yeah.
You know, I can lift my kids. I can get on the floor. I can move.
Your dad was probably a pretty solid person though, if he was that tall. And I mean, my son's 6'7". He weighs about 270, 280.
Okay.
So he's a linebacker-ish type of kid.
Yeah. I'm 6'2" and I'm about 320 pounds.
Okay.
And when I did my body scan on my scale, my muscle weight, just adding all the muscle, was 221 pounds.
Mhm.
So I'm like, 100 pounds of body fat, no big deal. We're good. We're cooking right now. And but again, not an excuse. Had to have a sense of humor about this. Um, but yeah, so understanding addictions and understanding that with dealing with clients, like that just gave me a whole nother perspective of working with people is like you gotta understand the addictions. And I think it's really easy to say, oh, they just choose that. And then my wife says, well, nobody put a gun to your head and put that cookie in your mouth. I'm like, yeah, my
Yeah,
brain
it
did.
kind of feels like, yeah,
It
yeah,
does.
yeah.
And it's almost kind of like you're doing it without realizing it sometimes. Like I'll go downstairs and get a glass of water, and all of a sudden my brain's like, hey, is there cookies over there? I don't know, let's go check. No, let's not check.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a cookie in there. So let's just have one. And then you walk away and you're like, hmm, let's have another one.
Yeah.
And then you should just, instead of going up the stairs, I bypass the stairs. And it's just like, it's that I don't, that part I struggle with. It's hard. And
Yeah.
I don't understand the chemical imbalance with that.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't, but it's like,
But yeah, your brain's just like, yeah. My
yeah,
thing was just eating, and you probably grew up the same as I did. I grew up in a household where you had 3 meals a day, like 3 meals a day. And I always felt like I had to eat whether I was hungry or not. It's like, well,
correct.
it's breakfast, I got to eat breakfast. It's lunch, I
Right.
have to eat lunch. You know, it's like I
Yeah.
finally
And I
got that
was,
under control, but that took forever.
it took forever. Yeah. I was always told that you have to eat everything on your plate.
Yes, my husband grew up that way.
And I'm like, man, like I understand why obesity is the way it is because, and my wife is like, your son's not eating his food. He didn't even take 2 bites. And I'm like, then he doesn't eat.
Yeah,
Right. We're not going to fix
yeah,
another meal, but just it's okay. He doesn't have to eat 3 meals a day.
yeah. Because he may not be hungry 3 meals a day. Yeah.
Well, he just throws a fit about what she fit. Now, if it was
Yep.
pizza, he's
Yeah.
all in.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's like a salad or like chicken, he's like, no. So,
Does it give him the same, chemical response as pizza does?
oh yeah, like so we still give him the healthy foods too to kind of get him to switch taste buds and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
maybe we should make him stand on it first and make him eat it. Let the feet taste it first.
Exactly. Like, see if they like it first, and then we'll. Well,
But
my youngest son eats like 4 different things. I mean, he's 21 years old and he has a very limited palate, and I'm like, he's healthy. It's fine.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. So back to like when my body scan was saying, it's like, oh, I'm only 2 years older than what I need to be. My body's 2 years older, and I'm thinking, you know
Okay.
what? I'm okay with that, right?
Mhm.
C- can I make it lower? Absolutely. But here's where my thought process is that even though I'm 2 year or 1 or 2 years older than where I need to be, I still can move. I can still lift things. I know people my age who've had 3 back surgeries,
Mhm.
who or hip surgeries, double knee replacements, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll eat the pizza any day versus
Yeah.
that type of health, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I feel like that with mine because I'm 55 and I do not take prescription medications.
me
Never have.
neither.
I don't take any.
Yeah.
Well, I have friends who have had, like you said, they've had all these surgeries and they have this list of medications, and it's like I've just never, knock on wood, never had to do that. So I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I I see my grandparents eat medications like Skittles,
Oh,
and I'm just like, I don't want to be like, and I don't know, people who take that much medication have this a certain smell to them, like a chemical smell.
chemical. Hmm.
And I'm like, I do not want to smell like that.
Yeah. Well, you know
I
what? So
just,
yeah, and I get that. So my mom, I had to put my mom in assisted living this year, and she's only 76. But she was on, I moved her from Indianapolis to Kokomo a year ago, and she couldn't take care of herself. She couldn't live by herself. She
mm,
kept falling. She was just, mind wasn't all there and everything. So I put her in assisted living and she still kept ending up in the hospital. And finally I was like, look, can we sit down and talk about the 16 medications that she
Oh,
takes?
wow.
Okay. I said, we need a psych eval, we need this eval. And they kept sending her back to the place. And finally they said, yes, let's do that. She's on 5 medications now. Five.
Oh, that's great.
Five. We've gotten her down to five. She is a totally different person. She loves her facility she's in, so she's going to stay there because she's legally blind, so she likes it. She
Mm,
tells me every day about her. Actually, she just texted me about her bingo winnings. So,
mm,
but she's a totally
that's
different person. And I'm like, why was she on all those medications? It's like each doctor put her on stuff and nobody really checked to see, and I'm like,
yeah.
why is she on 16 medications? She was on medications because she was on this medication. She had to take this medication because she was on this
For
medication.
that medication. Yeah.
It's like,
That's
yeah.
how pharmaceuticals make that money, man. I'm telling you. I had a client, she started seeing me and she reported back she actually was able to take out five or six of her medications. She just stopped taking them because she didn't need them anymore.
Mhm.
I- okay, caution. I did not advise her to do this.
Mhm.
She just made this decision on her own to see where she was at, and she felt fine.
Mhm.
So that's always a good thing. That's always a good feeling too, is to get people to take less medication. Like, again, take it if you need it. That's what
Yeah.
it's there for. But I don't think we need to have a pill for this pill and the
So,
side effect of that pill. And
sometimes I think we need to look at it and, she had been on stuff for 30 years and the doctor was like, why is she on this? Because she's at this age, she shouldn't have this same problem. And she didn't. Her blood work up all,
right.
you know what I mean? It's just like her ammonia levels were too high. That's why she was falling and that's why her memory was bad. Because she had it was 88. It's supposed to be like 50 or lower, and hers was
Mhm.
88. So her body
Wow.
was keeping ammonia in her system. So they kept all that taken
Yeah.
care of. But yeah. I'm like, why do
Yeah.
we?
Like I said, we all have it all has its place, but I could never get behind the whole concept of take a pill if you have a headache.
Yeah,
I've never, sometimes I'll do it just to kind of get me through, but I always trying to figure out why, like, okay,
you drink
oh
water.
yeah, I didn't have enough water, or oh, I didn't have enough food. So let's try that. Um, and
Yeah,
people who get headaches with the weather changes, that's usually a C2 issue. And balance of the C2 nervous system. So if you can get that under control, then less of the pressure, less you are desensitized to the pressure and the weather change. I don't know what it's called, but that's my best description of that.
yeah. It's like people who get up in the night to go to the bathroom. I tell them, I'm like, you're not drinking enough water. And they look at me and I go, you're dehydrated. Your body is telling you you're dehydrated. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to drink an appropriate amount of water during the day. And then they'll come back later and they're like, oh yeah, it's, they're like, yeah, I don't get up
Yeah.
as often. I'm like, yeah, your body tells you when it wakes you up
Yeah.
at night for a reason. It tells you that, you know, there's something
Yeah.
going on here.
I used to drink about a gallon a day, and then my gallon pitcher got mold in it and just went to a half a gallon. And what a difference. I'm like, I think I need more water. But then I talked to somebody like, no, you're getting enough water. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
so I drink about a half a gallon a day. Sometimes I fill it up twice and still drink a gallon.
Yeah.
But the rule is it's got to be empty before bedtime.
Yeah.
That's my rule.
Yep.
I can make that's easier than saying no to a cookie.
Yeah.
So,
I usually eight
uh,
o'clock is my time. So usually by 8 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done drink. But I've drank, all of my water during the day. But it's usually by 8 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm done
yeah, my
drinking.
wife's like, why don't you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have a good bladder. Like,
And it's not
sometimes
that.
I'll
It's
do it
just, yeah.
once, but very rare do I
Usually,
get up. I'm
yeah.
out, I'm out.
Yeah. Usually, if your body is well hydrated and well relaxed, you will not wake up in the night. So you may wake up in the morning and really have to pee, but you're not going to wake up during
Oh
the night.
yeah, that's like clear the bathroom. I'm coming through.
Exactly. So,
So,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Well, this was good.
Yeah,
I always enjoy our
I do
conversations.
too. It was a great conversation.
One of these days, we're just gonna have to like meet up in
I
person versus
know.
this screen
I'm
stuff.
gonna have to have you check my feet, make sure they're good.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should do next podcast. We'll do that. We'll
Yeah,
videotape it. Can you do videos? Like, can you share the videos of the podcast?
I'm trying to. Yeah, I have Zoom. I think I have it now where I can
Okay.
Zoom records it.
Okay. So, well, that's what we should do for our next one is do it so that way people can see then what I
Yeah,
do, and we can make that into like a session
yeah,
and record that. That would be cool.
yeah. Do
I
that.
love showing off.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's how you get your business, though. People
Oh
need to
yeah.
see it. People need to hear it. People need to see it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. The one guy on my podcast, the one that does the soil renovations down in southern Indiana, I'm having him on here next week too, again. And he's like, people have contacted me, like, hey, what do you do? Or, I heard you on this. And I said, I told you, they just need to hear you. And,
Yeah.
and yeah. And then it'll connect and they'll go, I know a guy.
Yeah, if you can't record it through the Zoom podcast, maybe we can just do a video and then just share it
Yeah.
to.
I'll check when I get. I had an issue with it before, but I haven't changed. This is the first one I've done since it's changed, so I'll see if it records the video. Because I
Okay.
was gonna start doing these and putting them on my YouTube channel just so they were on there, but I had an issue for some reason. It wasn't saving the. It was only saving the audio part, not the video.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't
I
know.
I was do I was recording certain sessions with clients so we could check progress, and for some reason that video would not work. We got the
Yeah,
audio,
yeah,
but then I updated the computer, then we got the video, and then but the file was too big to share it. So I'm like,
yes.
I don't know.
And I have that too. I had that issue with a couple of them. It was too big to share, and I had to put it in a different file. So
Yeah.
I'll see what we can do.
Yeah, so if we can do that, I can, either you come to see me or I can come see you. But yeah, well, I think that would be a fun one
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
so that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, lay on the table, let's just see what a massage looks like.
As long as I don't have to
So,
touch your feet. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, that's right. And we're gonna exchange. I touch your feet, you touch mine.
I was like, no.
I'll even make sure I put a Brillo pad to them before you
Yeah,
touch them.
absolutely. Please.
I'll make sure I'm wearing my toe socks for you there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I know that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna
Yeah.
wear the yeah. I'm gonna try to find some of the ugliest socks I can find and
I had a client, he always wore like these different socks, like pizza socks or
yeah.
just some funny socks. He had the Grinch socks one time, and I was like, man, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I had a little kid come in one time with socks that looked like chicken feet. They were
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
They looked like
Yeah.
chicken feet.
So yeah, so like with the feet too, like if you look at geese, ducks, bears, cheetahs, lions, tigers, they all internally rotate their paws or their feet, webs,
Uh-huh.
whatever. So I was just like, that makes more sense. Like
Yeah.
we need to be walking internally for internal rotation, external rotation on the way out.
Yeah.
But we just get so excessive with it and it just starts tearing up the knees and stuff like that and the backs. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We're complicated.
yeah. Yeah, we're complicated. The body's complicated, but I think it shouldn't be this complicated to figure it out.
No.
But anyway, I'm
Yeah.
always open to hate mail, so that's my
That's fine.
joke
This part's
is
not even recorded, so you're fine.
it's fine.
You're fine.
I'm open to hate mail. Let's have a conversation.
It's like it's what's funny. I tell my husband, he goes, will you talk about anything? And I'm like, yeah. I said, I want to talk about it, even if it's a topic that people don't want to talk about. It's like everybody, you have to have that conversation. So
Yeah,
at some point, you know,
people are so sensitive, and it's just like,
yeah,
why? Let's have a sense of humor about things. Like, if you can't laugh at yourself,
yeah,
there's a problem, right?
exactly. And there's a lot of people who can't these days, and it's
Oh
easy.
man, my daughter, she'll come home from school and some stories. I'm just like, what? They got mad over that? She's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they just can't laugh about it. And I'm just like, man, that's hilarious. So yeah, like I said, um, I got teased a lot in school. So in order for me to cope, I had to make jokes about myself just to make myself feel better about certain things. And it really helped me get through that because I was like, what man, I
Yeah.
don't care.
I'm a very sarcastic person. I grew up with a parent with mental health issues that, a small town parent with mental health issues. So
Yeah.
everybody do your business. But yeah, I'm very
My mother-in-law, so my stepmom and I, we have this sarcastic relationship, but I know when to be sarcastic, when not to be sarcastic. When I was growing up, but now that I'm older, I'm always sarcastic with her because I'm not going to get my butt whooped anymore. I know this. So when I first met my wife, we were talking about her parents are very old school, they don't have a lot of sarcasm. They joke, but my mother-in-law was with my mom and I in the house, and my mom and I, we were just going at it. And I said something to my mom that made my mother-in-law's face just drop to the floor. I don't know what it was. And she goes, Joe, how dare you talk to your mother like that? I said, what? She had it coming. I said, she started it. You don't talk to your mother like that. That's very disrespectful. And I said, Mom, did you find that disrespectful? She goes, oh, no. She goes, there's a difference between joking and disrespectful. I said, okay, good. Now go shut your mouth and let's eat. My mother-in-law just
she's probably like, what is my daughter doing?
she's like, you better not talk my daughter that. But yeah, I'm sarcastic. My daughter's picking up on it. And I said, look, I said, there's a time and place for it. You got to know when we are serious about doing something. And she said, she's like, I asked her, I said, hey, why don't you do the kitchen for us or something like that? And she was like, oh, why don't you just shut your mouth and do it yourself? And I was like, that was funny. Okay. I
Yeah.
was actually being serious,
Yeah.
not in the mood. And she
Yeah.
goes, oh, I thought you were kidding. I was like, no, not this time. She goes, well, I'm sorry.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and then one time, so I told her about special education. Back
Uh-huh.
in high school, we called it SPED
Uh-huh.
for short. And so I said, oh, man, I'm having such a SPED day today. And she goes, what's SPED? I said special education where we just do things differently or slower.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, oh, so then I did something and I don't even know what it was. And she goes, that was a sped thing to do. And I just started laughing. I'm like, yes, it was.
Yes.
I said, you just don't go around saying sped
Oh, no, no. We
because
always used to
someone's
say
going to
like,
get mad at
yeah,
you.
a little short bus. We always used to go,
Yeah, short bus. Like
the
I
random
rode the
short
short
bus.
bus
I know,
only because we only had 5 people going to school in that neighborhood.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
yeah. So yeah, I'm sarcastic.
Yeah, I am too. Really gross.
Just got to be careful
My
about it.
youngest one is he has Asperger's, and so he's very sarcastic because he gets it from me, and he just
Yeah,
lets it fly. I mean, like it's just like it's normal, and people
that's
have gotten
funny.
used to it. But at first people are just kind of looking at him, and I'm like, he just doesn't know any different.
Yeah, yeah,
He's black and white. There's no in between. You just
yeah.
gotta let it go.
Oh, like that movie, uh, with Johnny Knoxville in it, where
Oh yeah.
The Ringer.
Yeah.
There's a part in there where they were talking about ice cream. And the kid who has autism or Asperger's or something, it was unscripted. Like he just totally went off script. He goes, when the did we get ice cream? And Johnny Knoxville had to like control himself from not laughing because it was not part of the script.
Trust me.
So they left it in there because it was so hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll be saying something and he'll go, that's random. I mean, it's
It's
just like,
random. Yeah.
oh, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
like,
was random.
okay.
Yeah. They're good. They're quick. They're quick. They get it.
And it's just them, so it's pretty funny. But
Yeah.
you can get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's just like it's amazing.
Yeah. Just go with the flow.
It is. It's like it's the best. He does not
So,
care. Yeah, all
nope.
right. Well, I'll get
So,
this edited this weekend probably since it's supposed to rain.
no, that's fun.
Yeah. And I'll send it
Yeah.
to you.
Okay. Yeah, send it to me because I want to send it to my friend. I found you on Spotify, so
Okay. Yep.
I listen to it on Spotify. So I
Uh,
even re-listened to ours. I'm like, man, what did I say that for?
but you know what? It's so funny. I had one of my friends listen to it. She's just like, "You guys are so funny." She's like, "You need a comedy act," and I was like,
But yeah,
"Shocked." She goes, "You laugh a lot," and I go, "I know."
yeah, yeah. That's what makes it good. It makes it interesting.
Makes it real, just real
Yeah,
people.
just real people. That's right. That's what I
People.
like about it. It's just real.
Yeah,
So,
it is real. But
but
yeah, I'll get this one edited and get it to you, and yeah, and we'll,
sweet.
like I said, I'll
Wait,
do it.
yeah, shoot me some dates and times that you want to meet up and
Yeah, I can come that
give a
way.
demonstration. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Because you're in most days, right? You're in there most days. What time?
Monday through Saturday.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
All right.
So
Like,
anyway,
you can get it.
I'll let you get to it. I got a client's been calling me. He's trying to reschedule for tomorrow's appointment. So I got to set that up before I get locked into my own building or into the building here because I don't have the keys to the building. I have to work within their hours and they close at I think 9 or 10.
Oh,
So
yeah. You better get
I
get to
got to
it.
get to
All right.
it.
It's good
So,
to see you.
hey, you too, Tina. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye bye.